Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back here with another video. This time, it's not a reaction video, as you might have been able to guess, I'm not sure. But anyway, this is really mainly for my fellow Eurasians. For some reason, I put Eurasian in the speech mark. I don't know why, but in my patterns and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's mainly directed at Asians, my fellow Eurasians, whether that's Kristangs from Malaysia and Singapore, or Anglo-Indians, my fellow Anglo-Indians specifically, or even or Indos, or Hapas, Hafus. I say even, all of those groups equally. I don't know why that thing keeps doing that with the clock. I don't know if you noticed, but as I hope this video records properly, because a lot of time I seem to have this problem with the clock seems to go backwards or whatever. At least it's not having the problem I had the other day. I think it was yesterday, where the screen kept going black. But anyway, or was black. So I don't know if anyone could see what I was talking about. While I was talking, but anyway, I suppose the main thing is the message. Sorry, I'll try and get to the point. So yeah, this video is mainly for my fellow Eurasians, I say, Kristangs, Anglo-Indians, Hapas, Hafus, or Indos, or any other, did I say Indos? Anyway, or any other Eurasians around the world, in Asia itself and around the world. Basically, I've got an idea which I want to work on in April, May, June, and possibly August. But also I want to promote the idea where people might want to have their own versions of this for Eurasians. So I want to sort of do two sort of things. Those who are two groups, those who are interested in Eurasians and Eurasian community, for whatever reason, or want to learn about the Eurasian community and our experiences, or whatever, or things about us and our history and culture and things like that. Or those who might be married to or dating or whatever, Eurasians or whatever. Basically, those who are interested for whatever reason, I say, and the other group are Eurasians themselves, which I suppose are the main group I'm mainly targeting to talk to, as the title hopefully alluded to. So basically, I want to make a Zoom group, or I've got a few ideas, and this I wanted to stick to instead of doing my usual list videos. I thought I'd do like keep it short and sweet. Or try to, and what I want to do is a Zoom group or a series of Zoom groups. So I'm looking for people who will be interested in participating in such Zoom groups, either as participants or as those who help to run it or whatever, and basically those who are interested in helping to run it. So either those who are just interested in participating, or those who are interested in running it, or possibly a bit of both. And obviously it'd be free. But I'm thinking of different topics. Now, for me personally, I don't want it to be dictatorial. So I don't really want, I know a lot of people say that to put forward an agenda makes it a lot easier to run things like this. Someone told me, someone with dyslexia, when I talked about the dyslexia version of this, or the neurodiverse version of this, generally, they said that in his experience, when you put something out there and say, this is what we're going to do and this is how it's going to run, it's a lot easier. But I don't want to be a dictator. So I want it to be democratic. So although I can put forward my own ideas, I don't want it to be so that it has to be done this way or anything like that. So I'm putting out the idea. I'm putting the idea out there and hoping to share it with Eurasians, including Eurasian groups, on Facebook and whatnot, and hope other people put the word out there and see what ideas you want to discuss. But it'd be cool to so I thought, for instance, for me personally, I'd love to discuss one of my favorite topics, Italian football, soccer, calcio, footy, or whatever you call it, and also Celtic FC, and maybe even like football generally and Mediterranean teams, but especially in particular Italian teams and Celtic. And also another thing would be like learning about each other's communities, like learning about the Christian community and things like that, for instance, and also traveling to each other's countries. I'd love to travel to Malaysia. I've been to India a couple of times, but I'd love to travel again, but this time actually visit Anglo-Indian groups and maybe travel together, which would be quite difficult if we're from different countries. But if anyone has ideas on how to run something like that as well, so the Zoom groups and the travel groups and stuff like that, maybe we could discuss that sort of thing as well, how we could travel together, meet up in different countries and things like that. Hopefully we can even get discounts for travel, for instance, and even like when you have to go through security, hopefully if we have maybe some uniform or some badge or something which can show we're traveling together and we're going for positive intentions, hopefully we can even skip security and find creative ways to go through traveling quicker and even get discounts. So quicker and cheaper and more conveniently. So we could even give each other advice and help each other to remember things and pack things and whatnot. As I say, I think of similar ideas for another group I'm part of, which is the neurodiverse, networks. But I'd love to travel to Italy. I'd love to travel to Celtic and also to, as I say, Malaysia. I'd love to visit Eurasian organisations and groups and individuals there. India again, I've been there before, but I've not visited my fellow Anglo-Indians there. Indonesia, I'd love to visit Indos and that kind of thing, and maybe even meet up all around the world and combine the Hapa, Hafu, Indo, and other such projects. It could be the Kristang project, the Anglo-Indian project, and we can learn from each other, share ideas, and just generally network and support each other. Some could talk about politics or business or other things they're interested in. I know politics is a controversial issue, but I thought, what if we look at how we could lobby together, help each other to get into politics, help our fellow Eurasians like Rahul Gandhi in India to do well, dare I say. I know politics is controversial. I thought India, whoever was the leader, pretty much probably because of the fact they were colonized and things like that, similar with the other groups like Malaysia and whatnot. Although I preferred them to have an ethical leader, I'd support the people in those countries either way because historically they looked after us. So I'd love to, on that note, reward Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and Singapore for looking after us Eurasians throughout history, like giving us our own communities and places, giving us our own space, so that places and spaces and that kind of thing. So I'd love to reward those things. And from a selfish point of view, as I say, I'd love to go to Italy and share ideas for what time for, and I'd also love to go to Celtic and also look at how we can work on charitable projects and things like that. And maybe people who are interested in business could learn about business. People would talk about their experiences. Eurasian politicians could teach others. We could teach each other things. Someone mentioned about cooking. I don't cook myself, but people might be interested in learning about the cuisine, like Malaysians might be interested in learning about Anglo-Indian cuisine and vice versa, and that kind of thing. So as I say, I'd love to combine those sorts of projects as well, like the Indo project, Hapa and Hafu projects, and also, as I say, there could be an Anglo-Indian project and a Kristang project, things like that. So, and also, as I say, connecting with Eurasians all over the world, so we can travel together, and if not, at least Zoom together, possibly both, preferably both, in my opinion. Ideally, I'd love for us to travel together and again get discounts and be able to travel more quickly. But I think that covers everything. As I say, I want it to be democratic, not autocratic. So I want to listen to and read from my fellow Eurasians about what sort of places they want to go, what sort of places you want to go. Any Eurasians who might be watching this, hopefully finding out where you want to go and things like that. And also, what sort of things you want to do, what your goals are, what sort of things you'd like to learn from each other. What sort of things we could discuss, what topics you'd be interested in. Oh, and I almost forgot to say what dates, days, and times are the best. So I often thought of like doing an opinion poll. I tried to do an opinion poll where I asked sort of questions like that. What are the days, and times, and also like whether you like options like yes, I would like to be a part, or I would like just as a participant, and other options could be like yes, I would like to help. I would like to be part of it and help to run it and things like that. So I'd love to read from and hear from my fellow Eurasians, those who might be able to offer me tips, advice, encouragement, and that kind of thing, those who might have experience of running things like this, and also, or just general experience that they can share and information with fellow Eurasians and how we can network together, those who have experience in networking generally and running conferences and events and things like that. And again, also what your goals are for something like this, how you. I'd love to help Eurasians to connect and unite together and support each other, as I say, in politics, possibly in business, in terms of philanthropy, charitable work, funding, helping each other save money, helping each other, but also looking at how we as a community could help others, like how we could tackle poverty, especially in Asia, how we can help Asian nations and things like that. So I'm hoping to do things like that in April, May, and June, as well as August. Personally, but again, other members might have different days, dates, and times. Even though I'm putting the idea out there, I might not necessarily be involved in all the Zoom groups. It might be that people say, "Oh, that's a good idea. Let's make a Zoom group," and they might have a certain date or time which is not convenient for me. So I might not attend all of them myself. Obviously, there's only 24 hours in a day. Time zone on that note, time zone differences are a problem potentially as well. As I say, another thing is, I know these video, I like to appeal to a wider audience, but I wish I had a better camera angle because I could show you how cute my cats are right now. But anyway, sorry, getting back to the point. For non-Eurasians who might be interested, as I say, in learning about the Eurasian community or supporting the community or whatever else, hopefully there'll be some Zoom groups for you as well, for those who are interested in. So there could be some that are specifically for Eurasians and others which are for those who are interested in finding out about the community, networking with the community or whatever, sponsoring the community and things like that for their PR. I suppose that's generally what sponsorship is for, or even offering advice, or those who just want to support the Eurasian community or for whatever reason. And on that note, I'd love to network with other minorities and what I would class as POC, people of colour. But yeah, I'm trying to be as inclusive as possible, but for some, I like specifically to be for Eurasians specifically. But I think it's my dyslexia which thinks of like infinite possibilities. But yeah, please let me know what you think. And I'm waffling. I'm trying to make sure I cover all the points. So I'm not specifically thinking of specific things that you have to discuss. Maybe we can have, I'm trying to make like lots of different Zoom groups. So I want to find out what days and times are best for people, and hopefully to network on the time zone. So if people could try and find out, Google, because you can Google like the time. So you can say like Malaysia is certain time at the moment and it's whatever time in the UK. So you can find out the time zone differences and things like that. But yeah, if you have any questions, or you think I've missed anything, or you have any suggestions, ideas, I really should have planned it a bit more, but I was a bit impatient to get on with the idea, which I've been thinking about for a while. I've been trying to post it in groups on Facebook. But yeah, if you have any questions, or any suggestions, any sort of thing you want to help with, if you want to help to run one, or you want to run your own events from these ideas and that kind of thing, please feel free. But please drop some comments and let either on Facebook or YouTube, or preferably both, about what you think. Again, for non-Eurasians, if you want to network with the community and be part of some of the Zoom chats, but some of them, as I say, I would like to specifically be for Eurasians only. Anyway, I'm out. Peace and love.